Welcome to Horrortober.
Tonight we'll be covering the 2017 version of It.
Stephen King's It.
Stephen King's It.
There are gazebos! So firstly, I'd like to apologise for us not covering Monster Squad, which was promised. We've had some unfortunate reasons why we couldn't record, which we won't get into now. But we thought because we didn't do an episode on it, and we probably will later, but we thought we'd just have a few minutes covering Monster Squad first. So
basically, Goonies were monsters.
Yeah, Universal Monsters. Yeah, I mean, obviously because we haven't got any like details in front of us or anything. I just thought, what are your general impressions of like Monster Squad as a film, even as a kid, and then compared to now?
As a kid, I loved it. As an adult, I love it. So, there's not much difference. I think to me, when I watched something as a kid, if I liked it, I can't not like it now.
I'm a little bit different, but
I don't. Yeah. I'm not. Can't say there's not something out there, but I generally find if I liked it as a kid, I still get those feelings. So.
All right. So yeah, I do a lot of the time, but not all the time. But Monster Squad, I definitely do. I still really like Monster Squad. And one thing I want to say about Monster Squad is, I've seen a lot of werewolf films. I mean, I know it's not necessarily just a werewolf film. There's all the monsters in it, but a lot of werewolf films growing up, like American Werewolf in London, which is a great film, you know what I mean? I'm not taking it away from it, and all these other ones. And I think this is probably the best werewolf film, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
You know, I like the actor.
What, even better than, what's it called? Not Werewolf in London, or is it Werewolf in London?
American Werewolf in London, that I've just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great film, but the werewolf in it, part of it lets me down, because it actually turns into a wolf.
Oh,
whereas
so
I like the
I
like the big
wolf, yeah. There's some really good effects with the wolf in that as well.
Yeah, and
especially when he changes.
Oh yeah, and he's in the phone book.
Stuff,
yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. That.
I think is that animatronics?
I'm not sure, probably.
I mean, I still think it looks miles better than.
Well,
CGI,
we think we're gonna do some audio only podcast at some point, and this might be an audio only podcast because at Monster Squad Min, which is Monster Squad Minute on Twitter, they basically held the hand up and said, you know, if you want anything like Monster Squad, go to their Twitter. So I would recommend going to their Twitter because it's brilliant. And hopefully, if we can do an audio only, we'll get those on to do that.
Try and leave a link in the description.
Yeah, definitely. So we won't review and say what we rate Monster Squad. We still love Monster Squad, and obviously when we do it, it's probably going to be a massive love letter. But we'll try and bring you lots of facts. And if we have at Monster Squad Min on, who knows a lot about Monster Squad, they might be able to bring those aspects to that
I think
episode.
He generally was interested, wasn't he? So hopefully he still is when we get around to doing it, and we'll try and sort that out. Because at the minute it's a camera and a microphone, so we might have to sort out some microphones.
Yeah, well, I think that'll be something we'll probably do over Skype.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind if we do it here, and we could look at getting microphones, but...
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens anyway. So from there, we'll just say, we'll definitely do an episode on that. We'll move on to It.
Yep.
Which is the 2017 version, but we want to talk about the 1990 version, which we watched a lot as kids.
Yeah.
Great memories for me as a kid.
Absolutely terrified me in this film. I was so scared of that clown. And the scariest bit I remember when sort of watching it back, the bit that still freaked me out as an adult, and I hadn't watched it for a long time, but I was still an adult when I watched it last time, is the bit with the adverts that we don't have anymore. And I used to hate that bit where he points at the camera like that, and he makes that. It's like really freaky.
I was gonna mention that.
I kind of missed that when I watched it.
Yeah, that was the scariest bit on the watching it as a kid. It was that he used to point at the camera and he did that.
And it's like he's pointing at you, and God. Yeah, I had a few sleepless nights. Think of.
Yeah, well, I remember.
It was kind of funny as well, which is
I remember a funny story actually as kids. I remember us playing it in a neighbour's garden with that wooden bench.
Oh yeah.
And we used that as the drain. I'm pretty sure Dougie was Georgie as well in that scene and stuff. I remember it really well, but obviously as a kid, I always liked the first half of it. The second half used to kind of be a bit boring.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think it'll be interesting with the second half of the new one as well. But
yeah, because obviously this is very. I think probably a clever idea doing it as two films, and obviously that was a TV movie, wasn't it? And
I mean, if you're thinking about the fact that it was a TV movie at the time, you didn't really notice it. You just thought, this is pretty scary. It's pretty good.
Well, I think that was probably that's the way Stephen King adaptations were done at the time. Like they did like another TV version of The Shining.
Yeah, what was the one I got?
There was The Stand,
Storm of the Century.
The Stand. The Stand was done, I think, over like 4 or 5 parts.
I don't remember that one.
That was a bit weird, that actually. But obviously these are the...
Stephen King, classic.
Well, yeah. But they actually want to remake things like The Stand. And like, there's like Pet Sematary, which was a cinematic film, but it had kind of like TV acting. But they're remaking like Pet Sematary next as well, which is definitely spawned from it doing so well. And I think when it came out, there was also Gerald's Game, the new one.
All right.
So basically the Stephen King adaptations are sort of coming back now, it seems.
All right, cool.
But back to the 1990 version anyway, I think the film has aged quite poorly. I don't think it stands up quite well.
I haven't watched it for a long time and I don't really want to watch it, especially after you've said...
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to keep that memory.
Yeah, one thing that does stand up is Tim Curry's performance.
Yeah, he's fantastic in it. I mean, I haven't seen...
A belly boy.
I haven't seen Tim Curry give a bad performance, to be honest.
No, I haven't. He's got his voice is incredible in it, you know.
Yeah, super. Yeah, because he even did voice acting like that, didn't he? And even that's superb.
So 1990 version, I would say, if you're a horror fan that wants to watch everything, go watch it. If you like modern horror, avoid it and just watch the new one.
I think maybe as well, if you watched it at the time, you might, like I said with stuff when I watched as a kid, I still get those feelings from it. I think I would still be scared of it. I think it'd still scare me.
I don't know. I just thought the acting and everything, and it was the music.
I'm quite easily scared though, aren't I?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, compared to me.
So do we?
So I think we should move on to the new version. I don't know how you want. Do you want to start with a bit of background, or should we?
Yeah, if you want to
I'll do a little bit of background. I've got some trivia which I want to say for the end, but I'll do a little bit of background first. The screenplay is co-written by, just don't butcher his name, Kari Fukunaga, who was going to direct it, and he'd cast I've forgotten his name. I'm really sorry. He'd cast that guy as Pennywise, the young lad from Where the Millers. He plays the son in it, who's not really the son. I can't remember his name.
Skarsgård, isn't it?
No, that's the guy who plays it now.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the guy who
was going to play... For some reason he dropped out, but I don't remember hearing why.
Sorry, I do.
But Kari Fukunaga's script was very much... He wanted to take it into... Because there's some really dark elements in the book that probably not... I don't think fit for film, personally. There's a graphic sex scene, for example, that's...
Yeah, is that involving the kids as well?
Yeah.
Something? Yeah, I heard about that today. So, funny enough, it was a gaming podcast and they mentioned the new it.
Yeah, I don't know why that scene's in the book. I don't know what Stephen King was on, to be honest.
No.
He wanted to explore... Yeah, I don't know if he wanted to do that scene, but he wanted to explore darker themes. One of the scenes not in the film, which I don't actually know if to film this, I don't know if it was just written... was going to be a flashback to Pennywise, and it was going to be a mother, and she had a new baby, and he says something like, "I'll let you go if I can eat your baby," and then you hear him chomp on the baby. I'm really glad they didn't do that, because that's going a bit too far for me.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So I'm hoping that doesn't make it into chapter 2, because that'd really bother me. So anyway, Andy Muschietti came on with his wife as producer and stuff, and he obviously took it onto the film we've got now. So do you want to get into the film?
Yeah, do you want to do likes or?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to just? Should we just say what we think of at the end and do likes first?
Yeah. I think likes the big plus is the kids, just absolutely superb.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I might be wrong about this, but I think it's been a while since you saw a group of kids who were really good. You didn't see
Stranger Things.
I was going to say until Stranger Things came on. Okay. And then you've got this as well, and it's not even... I mean, there's one kid that's the same, and I will say I love that he was completely different to his character in Stranger Things, because I always worry they're going to make him the same.
Is that Finn Wolfhard? I think it is.
I'm not sure of his
name. He plays
He's
Richard,
also got... Yeah. I like that they put them glasses on that zoom into his eyes, because it made him look a bit different as well, so...
Well, funny... Did you know they wanted to do it? The Duffer Brothers.
Oh, really?
They pitched it, but they were like, we've already got a version we're going to do. So...
Yeah,
this did not rip off Stranger Things before anyone thinks it did not rip off Stranger Things. I can put it.
Well, no,
it
was out.
Well, the book is set in the 50s, but the film was set in the 80s.
Yeah,
I think that was a good move.
I think that's a good move because I think there's a lot of people around as well that were kids in the 80s and can relate.
Definitely, yeah.
And they are probably the kids that watched it when they were a kid. Sorry, the people who watched
it
when
they were a kid
as well.
Yeah, I think the kids were absolutely fantastic.
Did you notice some of the stuff in the background at the cinema as well?
That went on the street.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I've got a few
Batman as well.
I've got a few trivia bits about that. So for me, the big plus, I think Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise.
I have my issues. Not with him. I have my issues with the clown, the way they did it all together. But I think his performance is really good. He looks great.
the visual, the style of him is very similar to the book.
Yeah. Well, did you notice as well when the kid goes into all the clowns, there's the clown right on the left-hand side, right at the end, and it's basically Tim Curry's...
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Oh, is that you? Sorry.
But yeah, that's one of my favourite scenes, actually. I love the... Because basically, as the kids figure out what's going on, and Bill's the toughest, isn't he? He's like... He's the one who kind of don't buy into Pennywise's BS, and he... I love the scene where they go through the doors and there's like, not very scary, really scary.
Yeah, I kept thinking, go for the really scary door.
Yeah, well anyway, no, but they do go for the not really scary one, but it's psychological, isn't it? They have to kind of believe, and then they go
No, they go for the not very scary, but I thought they should have gone for the really, really scary, because I thought it was going to... I originally thought it was going to be a twist, like, if they go for that one, it's going to be not so scary.
That scene, and then when they go through the door and they're not buying it's like mind games, Pennywise looks... Yeah. That's the first time you see him look a bit like, oh... crap, I don't know what's going on here. And there's that really good music at that point as well. Yeah,
the music's good. Yeah. Is that all your likes? Because I just wanted to go on to one that we'll just keep going, because the next I want to talk about, there's something I didn't like about it at the same time.
Well, I think the just the style it was shot, the opening scene especially, looked quite dark.
I thought the opening scene was great up to a certain point, and again I had an issue with
I think I know what you're going to say, actually. Should we just mention it?
Yeah, I thought what should have happened in that scene, Georgie looks in, and then it's like just pulls him straight into the grate, but this stupid CGI mouth thing comes out and bites his arm off, and he's like running away, and it's almost like, you can't blame the kid because he's a young kid, but I almost felt like he wasn't acting like he'd had his arm chopped off.
I think he should have bit his arm off.
It's not against the kid, it's what they did with the clown. I thought... I was gripped and I was waiting for it to scare me, and then it just completely took me out of it, and I was like, that's not scary.
I think he should have bit him, and I think they should have done some sort of stylish shot where the camera moved into them all the rain, and then you saw the blood.
In fact, in the Tim Curry version, doesn't he do a bit where he opens his mouth and he's got really sharp teeth? That is miles scarier than anything they did in this film with the clown with the teeth. It just didn't work for me, that.
I think the reason they did the CGI... This film, the budget wasn't huge for a Hollywood film for a start. And I think they probably didn't have time to do as much practical effects as like... I mean, I don't know how you would have done a practical effect. But I think as well, they probably wanted to achieve like what is in the book and what he does in the book, like his mouth extends and things.
Yeah.
So you kind of can't blame him. But I know what you mean. That's one of my big complaints about the film is some of the CGI. I think...
It's terrible.
I think CGI in a horror film takes me out of it completely.
Yeah, and I don't mean any disrespect to the people who worked on it. I don't mean it looks terrible. I think it's terrible to put it in a horror film because it just pulls you out. It's not realistic anymore.
You've got to use it wisely.
The more you keep it grounded, the more believable it is. And as soon as... a lot of the scenes throughout this film, for me, were ruined by CGI completely.
But I do think, when in the cinema, the CGI looked worse on the big screen. When I watched it on the Blu-ray, it looked... Because it was a lot sharper, it looked a lot better. One of the big CGI scenes I will give them credit for is, do you know the bit where they knock over the... like projector, and he comes out massive? That was actually really good in the cinema.
I think the CGI looked good, but again, I think they got that completely wrong. It was so freaky, and it was the freakiest part of the movie. And as soon as he jumped out with this giant CGI, I was like,
Pennywise,
not scared anymore. Pennywise, I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that's probably one of the film for me made me jump in the cinema, but it didn't scare me.
Funny enough, I was waiting for it to make me jump, and I kept doing this thing where I put my fingers in my ears because I don't want to jump too much because I get scared easy, and it never came for me.
I know what you mean.
That was a massive disappointment to me. I don't watch horror movies because I don't want that to happen, but the jump scares kind of exhilarating, isn't it? You get your heart.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. Yeah,
I prefer that to them trying to escape.
Well, you know the scene where Bev, when she whacks her dad with that, it's off the toilet, isn't it?
He was the scariest thing.
And then she turned around and he's there and he grabs her. That got me in the cinema. That made me jump.
Yeah, that was a bit. I thought the best scene in the entire film was the picture scene that we just talked about until he comes out. That bit where I remember seeing that on the advert and I was like, that is scary.
Yeah, I agree.
And the other bit is, I mentioned it earlier, where he walks into the room with the clowns. The bit where it shuts and he jumps straight out.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
It didn't really make me jump that much, but I was like, oh, that's a bit freaky.
My favourite scene, other than that, is the one where Bill goes into the basement and Pennywise comes after him. When George is in the basement, it's all flooded.
Yeah, and he comes towards
out of the water. I thought that was really cool.
I love the bit where he comes out of the water, where he chases him. I thought that looked better on the trailer.
Yeah, it seemed a bit faster, didn't it? I thought.
Yeah, it seemed a bit.
Yeah.
I always think like I said, the CGI. Once you know it's CGI, it pulls you right out of the film.
I did crack up though when he were chasing. Spare with me, I'm just looking at the kids. Ben in the library, and he went, "Hey boy."
Yeah, that was funny. I was also a little bit.
I thought it was quite funny.
I was a little bit disappointed. I
don't know what he's dancing like.
Didn't find it as funny as I thought I were gonna.
Ah, see, I laughed about that. The bit where Mike's getting beaten up and he's there chewing on the. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
And he's like.
Going back to the original, the worst bit in the original for me was where it flew over and it was some giant spider sort of.
That's in the sequel. Well, we don't know what they're going to do in the sequel. I mean.
I don't know what it is, but this film, there's so many moments that did it. Like the bit where he opens it, as soon as you know that's not a clown, he's not scary anymore. The clown is scary.
But the thing is,
they should have stuck to that for me.
But you have to go by the book as well, because Pennywise, he's not Pennywise. Pennywise is something he becomes.
Yeah, he's portraying.
I mean, in the book, he becomes a lot more things. Like,
and even the kids floating, and I was just like, oh, please, come on.
I kind of get it. They wanted to basically create the visuals of the book. I think.
I think there's two sides to this. There's the bits with the kids, and there's the bits with the clown, and the bits with the kids work perfectly. The bits with the clown didn't work at all for me.
See, I disagree a little bit, because I think there are some great scenes with the clown, like when he's going after Eddie, and Eddie's broke his arm.
Oh yeah,
that scene I think
that's pretty creepy. I shouldn't have said they don't work out. Some of them work, but
I think that is a really,
for me
really good scene.
Completely flat by some really poor CGI.
Fair enough.
I shouldn't say poor CGI, because it won't pour it just because it was CGI.
I know what you mean, and I think some of it wasn't great though. Like the bit where the body comes down the stairs with the head missing. Could they really not just put an actor in there?
I actually thought that looked a bit better than the other stuff.
It probably did, but again, could you not just put an actor in and just done the green?
Yeah, I didn't like the woman. In fact, everything that was supposed to scare the kids didn't scare me, and I thought, if you're not scaring me, then this film is scary.
Do you know what? I think you would have been more scared in the cinema, because it was a lot darker and louder. I can't really explain
Well, actually, I had the light on, and I thought, I can't watch it when not, and I put it, because I've got colour lights, I put it on red, and I thought, it's not dark enough. When that first scene was starting with the boat floating, and I thought, I've got to turn the light down, it's got to be darker. So I actually darkened it down. I'm really disappointed because it didn't scare me.
Right, that's fair enough.
Even if it had made me jump, I'd have been.
See, it did make me jump in the cinema because it was so loud, and I wasn't expecting certain things.
But at the same time, again, I found it really hard when I was watching it to think, am I enjoying this or not? Because the bits with the kids are so good, and then for me, the bits with the clown, more when they were trying to scare, like when he goes to the house. Who's the kid who? Did you say it's Eddie? The kid with the not Eddie. He's the chubby lad, isn't he?
No, that's Ben.
Oh, that's Ben. Is Eddie the one with asthma?
Yeah.
So Eddie, right?
He's the gazebos one. They're gazebos.
So he goes to that house, and then there's that weird looking. And again, they did it with the CGI face, and it just looked awful.
In the cinema, I was like, why? Just put a guy in makeup.
For me, I don't know if they were trying to not really scare adults, and it was just meant to be, no, we're not trying to scare you, this is what the kids are scared of.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody, I thought you might have said that to me.
Possibly.
But for me, they should have tried to scare adults. Because it's a 15 anyway, so kids aren't going to watch it. There's no way I'd let my son watch it.
No.
But yeah, and the bit where he opens his mouth and the lights are inside, now
no. Penny, it is deadlights. That's the thing about the book. That's the thing about I'm actually going to defend the original, even though I think the spider thing is awful.
There are some lights on it.
The book just says deadlights, to see the deadlights. So how do you interpret that in a film? It's a bit hard.
Couldn't they just have lights in his eyes? That'd have been free. Because that bit where you can just see his eyes, and he's in that is it a butcher's or something? Where the lad sees his parents, you find out a bit later, trying to get out of the door, and the door opens, you just see Pennywise's eyes like red.
Oh, yeah.
That's freaky.
That's with Mike, isn't it? Do you know,
Mike,
that's one of my complaints. I think he was really underused, that kid.
It was. I think, to be honest, I think they're all superb actors.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, though, and I don't know her name, the girl in it, because I think she's going to be a star.
She is played by Sophia Lillis.
I think she's going to be a star.
I think
about her.
Right.
I just thought she could walk
into
a role
I didn't know.
now. She's got a very because I think she must have been about 14. I think she's about 16 now, so I think she must have been about 14. Then,
yeah, 13, 14. Yeah.
They're all around something very mature about an adult. She comes across as more like a woman than a kid.
I think the way they filmed her as well. Though. Well, I think she's like that in the book, though. So I think they were just obviously developing the book and stuff. I mean I hate that stuff with a dad because I just find it really freaky.
Yeah, that was the.
But it's in this book. In the original, it's kind of.
I kind of wish they'd left that out a bit, because didn't she in the original get abused by her husband though?
Yeah, but I think in the original, they basically said the dad used to hit her. They didn't really make out in this
right.
it sounded like he maybe molested her, but you're not sure, are you?
That's why I was a bit like,
it's almost like you don't know if he just wants to or...
I mean, there's enough going on in the film without needing that.
But I think you're supposed to hate him, Henry Bowers in this film. He had the most punchable face.
Oh God, he reminded me of like. Do you know what? Okay, do you know what I was thinking this morning though? He reminded me of like Kevin Bacon. I ain't seen him.
I know what you mean because he's got
a really annoying face as well. Yeah, I hated him, and I love that.
Kevin Bacon don't have an annoying face. I'm just gonna put.
No.
I love Kevin Bacon.
No, I like Kevin Bacon. That bit where he shoved. I was just like, will somebody just kill this guy already? And then he gets shoved down the well, doesn't he? And then.
He's got to be dead, hasn't he? He's supposed to be. Yeah, he's supposed to be, but he's in the sequel in the original.
Yeah, but if he's fallen down that well, Pennywise has gone down there, hasn't he? Because he goes further down.
So what if Pennywise brings him back?
Yeah, so he'll probably use him at some point.
Well, that's what he does in the original.
But yeah, when he stabbed his dad in the neck.
Oh yeah, it was awful, wasn't it? You can see why I like his well though, because his dad was horrible to him, wasn't he, and stuff. So
I would really like to see.
There's actually a cutscene where you see his friends dead in the car as well, like he's killed his friends as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
God. Yeah, because even through the film,
he's gone on it though when he's going to kill Mike. His eyes, he's just gone.
Yeah, he's lost it. Yeah,
but it's obviously. But I don't know if you noticed in the film, but everyone was kind of off kilter. Like Eddie's mum, there's something about the way she looks and like
she reminded me of that Misery.
Like and the optician, the chemist guy, the pharmacist, everything looked off kilter.
Yeah,
and apparently in the book,
really
it's not. The evil infects the town, and everyone is a little bit like the parent. If you notice, the parents don't seem to give a crap about the kids, do they? Apart from Eddie's mother, who's a bit too obsessive, but it's like the evil.
But she's like the other way.
So maybe that's why Beverly's dad's kind of like he is because it's pushing those.
I feel this guy. Don't get me wrong. I feel this guy made a really good film. I just have a problem with the scares for me. Weren't scary, and you know me. I get scared quite easy now. That disappointed me. I didn't want to watch it because I thought it'd be scary. And then when it didn't scare me, I was really disappointed.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
So do
you want to rate it and I'll get into some trivia then?
I find this a really hard one to rate because I think the thing with the kids is like an 8 or 9 out of 10. But the bits with the clown completely ruined the film for me and... I'd have to take... I'll go with a 7. 7 out of 10. Not sure, I think it's Kelly on... or something. I'm going to give it an 8. I think it's an 8 out of 10. I've watched it 3 times now. First time I loved it. Second time I didn't really enjoy it second time. Watching it last night, I think I kind of settled and I was like, you know what? It doesn't scare me, but I really like the film. And in fact, I think it's very much a Nightmare on Elm Street film, like the way it's done, like because the big scares and stuff. And for me, Andy Muschietti, I would get him on the next Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
So we'll go through the box office. This film is the second highest grossing horror film of all time.
I've just seen what the figures are. That's
so it was a £35 million budget and it made $700.4 million. In fact, Warner Bros had such a massive year last year because of horror, and It and the Conjuring universe were that big. Basically, they had all these films come out in 2017, and there was Wonder Woman, which was massive as well. They basically didn't need Justice League to make any money. Because they'd had such a big year, so
which was fortunate because he didn't.
Well, yeah, he still made it. Do you know what?
Yeah, he didn't.
He still made some money.
He didn't do enough.
No, he didn't do enough at all. But basically, they had such a big year with horror, and it's obviously one of the biggest horror films of all time, and it's second only to The Exorcist.
Yeah,
which I think is
I mean, despite what I say, I'm still looking forward to the second part. And I want to see it, but
do you know who's playing the characters in the second part?
No idea.
James McAvoy is playing Bill, which, watching this knowing that, I was like, God, I can really see it now.
Bill, which one's Bill?
Bill's the main kid.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
The name of the female, Jessica Chastain, is playing Bev.
I don't know.
You'll know her if you see her.
But
I think she's in that Interstellar, I think. And one of the ones I can remember is the guy who's playing Bill Hader's playing Richie, and Bill Hader, you know Bill Hader is there.
I can't remember.
You remember him?
If it wasn't on camera, I definitely know who he is, but I'm like, oh.
Remember in Superbad, the cops, Seth Rogen and the other guy?
Oh, yeah.
He's playing Richie, and I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I'm not sure on the others, my brain's gone a bit, so I'll have to just leave it there.
Alright.
With those 3. A little bit of trivia on the film, obviously you mentioned Tim Curry Pennywise in the Hall of Clowns, as I call it, which I don't know what it's actually called in the film.
Good now.
Obviously in the background, I mentioned you saw Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child, on one of the cinema things.
Oh yeah, sorry.
They toyed with the idea of having, because you know Pennywise turns into other things. They toyed with the idea of having Pennywise turning into Freddy Krueger.
I'm glad they didn't do that because I think that would have pulled me out of the film.
I think it must have been in the scene where Eddie broke his arm. But I think, see, as a Freddy Krueger fan, I would have loved it. But I actually do agree with you. I think it maybe
I think I'd have like gone, oh, that's cool, and then being like, oh,
well, apparently they thought it was too meta.
Yeah, it was too,
and that's why his glove his hand goes all like a bit werewolfish type thing instead, which I think I would have loved it.
Maybe if they'd done the glove, just the glove, not him turning into full Freddy.
Yeah,
maybe that would.
Maybe they could have done. You see the glove, and then you look up and you think it's Freddy and it's Pennywise or something. Something like that, maybe. But anyway, that was something. Some of the lines were improvised by the actors. I think Finn Wolfhard and Eddie. I can't remember who plays Eddie now. I'm sorry, but bear with me. Yeah, Richie and Eddie, which Eddie was played by Jack Dylan Grazer, who's in Shazam coming up. And apparently they improvised a lot of their dialogue and the banter and stuff, which they had some brilliant banter, didn't they?
Who played Ben? Because I kept looking at that kid thinking he looks really familiar.
He's going to be in Goosebumps too, I know that much.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know if he looked like somebody, and I thought, is he somebody's kid?
No,
I kept looking at him
I don't know. I don't think I've seen him in anything else.
He was one of my favourite characters in film.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he? But they gave him a lot of the stuff that Mike has in the book, where Mike's the one who knows about the history of the town and stuff.
Ah,
so I kind of feel like Mike got shortchanged a little bit, but maybe he'll be more of a... Because in the film, he calls them all back, doesn't he? To say it's come back.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be that again. I think that going back to the banter was brilliant. Like when he's like, "You're in Greywater" and all that. He stood in. I don't want to repeat the words. I don't swear. And I think that's it for my trivia because we sort of mentioned stuff as we've gone on, like the Duffer Brothers wanted to do it, and obviously Pennywise's costume was more like in line with the book and stuff. So in fact, Stephen King gave this film a big thumbs up, and he said even though they didn't stick to the 50s vibe of his book, he said what they did was they stuck to the essence of the characters.
Do you know what he thought to the Tim Curry one then?
I've no idea.
I'd be interested to know, because it is a TV movie, so you've got to give it some sort of leeway with that bit.
They say he tends to like the ones where he was invited onto set and maybe had a small role and stuff, but he's not as keen on... Like, I know for a fact he does not like The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and he supported the remake of TV.
He's quite different though, isn't it?
I think it is a little bit, and obviously there's the whole... I was talking to you about this in the car, about Jack Nicholson, like the descent into madness. It's like he's already mad because he's Jack Nicholson, which I think The Shining is a really good film. But
what's that about Jack Nicholson?
He's a bit, he's a bit psycho. I love him, but he's a bit psycho. I think The Shining's a great film, but at the same time, I can also see why people might think it's boring or.
Yeah, I think it's one of those slower paced films, but
it's definitely
I agree. It's a good film, it's The Shining.
But back to it, I think they did it in 1990. They scared a lot of people, and in 2017 they scared a lot of people. But obviously now audiences are smarter and stuff, so you've got to establish things like that. So,
like I say, I think less is more, and I think that's where, for me personally, that they got it. I don't want to say wrong because I
feel like a lot of that was the director's choice, and I think he relied a little bit too much on CGI. But at the same time, why I think he'd be good for Nightmare on Elm Street is sometimes you're going to need CGI in Nightmare on Elm Street because you got.
Do you know the bit where he's done the clown?
And
he's like, why did they make that look really weird? It just
it didn't work.
Just film it normally. I mean, if you just gone in, to me, if you just closed in on it. But to move when you're moving it about, it kind of just made it look a bit hokey and weird, and I didn't think that made it scary. But there were some good. I tell you what, there were some good bits where they would. I think they do it on the house and they go towards the house and they just slightly turn the camera.
Yeah,
that is super.
That house was fantastic. Superb. Actually, it was really scary. House with the well in the bottom as well.
I think it was great because it looked like it could have been too cartoony, but they got it just right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, but like I say, I do not want to not having to go to the director or anything. It's his film, his choice. Had to make a film. Just on a personal level, don't think they got the scary stuff right.
All right,
but like I say, the other side to it, I'd love to see.
Well, to be honest with you, I think you'd be a bit of a litmus test for me. If it didn't scare you, then I'd say it's probably not that scary.
I remember, Emma Ruth sometimes with this. I remember her saying she just thought it was funny. She didn't think it was scary, and I just remember thinking it all the way through. No, you're right. It's not scary.
I just really enjoy it because I think the characters are so good and stuff, and it's like I feel like you follow the kids on an adventure.
The bit where I'll keep going back to about the pictures where they're changing. That should have had a jump scare at the end to me, and I don't know if it did when he jumped out, but I didn't feel like it was enough.
Yeah, it did, but in
fact, there's a bit at the beginning
in the cinema.
A bit that scared me, or maybe jump at least, at the beginning of the film. There's a noise, and it's where George is about to take the boat out, and I think does he call him on the walkie-talkie?
Yeah, when he goes into the basement.
That bit got me.
Yeah.
But that was the only bit in the entire film that got me.
What about the
the
lady on the painting?
I just thought she was a bit too cartoony, CGI, and I just didn't find her scary at all. I think it's got to be jump scares for me personally, but then again, you could get me here, just like say, just less is more for me in horror.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
I remember, and I probably won't like it now, but the Blair Witch Project, Frighten the Life. I mean, you see nothing in that.
Was boring.
You see nothing in that film at all, and I found it.
And if you watch it now,
maybe I've got a good imagination.
If you watch it now, you'll be brought to tears.
Well, maybe so.
And I also watched Blair Witch, which was pretty much just a remake with actually had more bits in it, and that was terrible as well. So, so that's it then, innit? We're done.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, Horrortober has begun a little later than planned. We apologise again. And we will be back next week with The Lost Boys, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it is The Lost Boys.
It might change. We'll just say that because you never know.
You never know. But we just wanted to kind of touch, didn't we, on the scheduling. Obviously, at the minute we're trying to do weekly. You're having a baby. Yeah. So, not him personally. But it probably is going to, at some point in December, affect the scheduling. And next year we'll probably look to try and get one done every month. Yeah. We'll see. We'll have to see how it goes. Yeah. I think because it'll be number 2. So for you, so it's going to be a bit harder.
I do think an audio only may make it survive longer because we could go on Skype and I could Skype you and stuff like that. And,
so I mean, if you're watching this, let us know. Do you like? Because we seem to get more views on YouTube than we get listeners on other stuff, on iTunes and stuff. So. Let us know. Do you still want to see it on YouTube? Are you not that bothered? Would you listen to it as audio only? Because if it is, it's a lot easier for me to do it audio only. This takes a bit of extra time, and the thumbnails take extra time. And I love doing them, but it does take extra time. Yeah. So please let us know. Yeah, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, we are at MBP Movie Pod. As Daniel said, we're available on YouTube, iTunes and Podbean. We're available on some other things if they can. There's something I found us on somewhere, some site. All right. Yeah, I think if you go on anywhere that takes stuff off of iTunes, we'll be available. Right. On okay. Well.
We're also on. We should probably put the Facebook group as well. Is it Marshall Brostock Productions on Facebook?
That for his films. That's for his films.
Oh yeah, but we've got MB. Sorry, yeah, that's for his films. You want to follow at MBP Movie Podcast. That is our thing. In fact, in possibly next week after, we will have our next film coming out, Within the Darkness, which is a horror film. So hopefully you can watch that and enjoy that. And I think that's it, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. That's it for us.
See you next time.
Till next time.
You'll float too.